Coach's Corner. Coach, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what sports you coach?
Hey everybody, I am Coach Jessica Sanchez, and I am the cheerleading coach for Sideline and for the competition team.
All right. And how long have you coached that sport here at university?
Yesterday was my 3-year anniversary for Sideline, so I was hired 3 years ago yesterday.
Well, happy anniversary. I wasn't
Thank
aware of
you.
that. But happy anniversary. Wonder
Thank
how many
you.
other coaches know the exact date. I know I
I
never
really,
got it.
I don't. Let me not take any kind of credit. It pops up on my news feed on
Oh,
Facebook.
okay.
That's how
Okay.
I
All
know.
right.
I mean, I knew it was April sometime, but that I remember. Plus, I don't even know what day it is anyway.
Right. I don't know that any of us do right
No,
now.
they're all a blur now at this point.
No doubt. And how long have you coached cheer all together?
I've been coaching cheerleading for the last 9 years, between high school and Pop Warner.
Okay. And all of that has been here locally in the local Orange City area. Is that correct?
Yes, I started my first coaching job was at Trinity Christian Academy. And then from there, at the exact same time that I started that, I also started coaching Pop Warner. And then I was there for 2 or 3 seasons at Trinity, and then doing Pop Warner the whole time. I retired from Pop Warner after my first year at university in 2017.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
most of my
right.
girls tried out for high school at that point.
And it's my understanding that the coaches that you ended up cheering for, cheering with, whatever the correct terminology for, are now, most of them are coaching at the high school for the football team. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
That's got to be kind of cool, isn't it? I mean, kind of full circle-ish type deal.
It is. I mean, so as far as the cheer coaches go, we two of us came on at university while still maintaining our Pop Warner team, and then the rest of those coaches came up, and then our football coaches, which is Joe D'Souza and Andy Schultz, um, and all of those guys came up this past year. So for us, it was really great because as a Pop Warner team for the Wolves, we had a great run, both the cheer and the football, making it to regionals, making it to districts every year. We were 4-time district champs, both cheerleading and football. So to be reunited at the high school was amazing. We're super excited about that.
Yeah, that is cool. That's definitely cool. And to me, that's one of the things about the Orange City area, even though the Orange City, DeBerry, Deltona area is just exploding with growth, the way that it's still definitely a community and the way that a lot of people know each other, and I think that's cool, and that's why I enjoy being here and raising a family here. Just still got a lot of everybody knows everybody type deal. So that's
No, for sure. And we with as far as Pop Warner goes, you had the Deltona Panthers and the West Volusia Wolves. It's actually kind of rare to have two Pop Warner teams in one city, which technically Deltona does. But to see all of those kids, and you see them, the kids go to school together, and they grow up together, some each other for years, uh, and some of them get lucky enough to they for years on the football. So that kind of community is always fun, rivalry. It makes everybody better.
right, no doubt. It's yeah. And we'll get back on track here, but definitely that's definitely a really cool thing. And seeing those kids
Mhm.
interact, is also a really cool thing too. And so, where did you grow up?
I'm a Jersey girl.
You're a Jersey girl.
I grew
All
up in
right.
Central Jersey. Yep.
And growing up in New Jersey, what sports were you a part of growing up, like before high school, pre-high school?
I was a gymnast. I was a Pop Warner cheerleader myself, and I also did martial arts. I did karate.
Oh, you're frozen.
Yep. All right.
Oh, wait. Okay, now you're unfrozen. I
Okay.
heard you were a gymnast, and then you
Okay.
froze. So,
Okay. So starting from the top, I was a gymnast, a cheerleader for Pop Warner, and then also I did martial arts. So I did karate.
oh, so don't mess
Yeah.
with Coach Sanchez. She'll chop you
That's
up.
right. That's right.
Okay. Um, and then once you got to high school, did you kind of give up the gymnastics and the martial arts and focus on cheer or?
Well, gymnastics is a huge part of cheerleading. So I didn't give it up entirely. Obviously, I was no longer using it, the apparatus as far as like vaults and bars and things like that. But I was one of the main tumblers on my team back then. Um, and then as far as martial arts, I did it up until my freshman year. And then it just became really hard to maintain all of it and go to school. So I did end up kind of not doing that as much. So I primarily was just a cheerleader. I didn't do any other sports in high school.
Okay. All right. And let's see, as an athlete, regardless of if you're talking gymnastics, martial arts, or cheer, is there a memorable moment that really sticks in your head as, uh-oh, I see that smirk on your face. Is there something that really sticks out?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know how much you know about gymnastics coaches, but gymnastics coaches in the 80s probably are the most brutal breed of coaches that you'll find. Um, they're they probably aren't as bad now because you kind of can't get away with the things that you could get away with in the 80s. But yeah, I just gave away my age there. But it was yeah, that was for sure. I mean, I had a coach. His name was Tony, Coach Tony. Still remember his name. He was very blunt and had no problem cursing at you if you didn't do what he wanted you to do. And thankfully, I guess maybe that's why I'm not as sensitive to some critiques that people will give, or how people will come at you, because I had a coach like him. But yeah, there was one specific moment. I was on the beam. I've told my cheerleaders this story plenty because I tell them all the time that they got it easy, comparatively speaking. But yeah, I was standing on the beam. The beam was 4 feet up. It was not, a low beam. And I had to do a standing tuck. Now, I have girls that struggle doing a standing tuck on a mat. So to be, 4 feet in the air on 2 inches, you would think that a coach would encourage. Nah, he was cursing at me, told me if I didn't throw it, he was going to kick me out of the gym. So me being me, I just got angry and said, okay, fine. That's what you're going to do. Guess what? I'm just going to throw this tuck. And I did it. And I threw it. And my father walked in as I was doing it. And he says he remembers it as well. He says in his mind, he saw wheelchairs, a quadriplegic daughter. So it terrified him. And my father, for people that know him, is definitely not the type to get scared. He was terrified to see what I was doing, but I did it and I accomplished it. And in the end, I guess his yelling at me was the way he got through to me. So it worked. I did it.
So as an athlete, then you kind of you were a receptive athlete to that kind of coaching then possibly.
Yes.
Okay, because
Um, do best, I guess. I'm angry or I'm trying to prove to you I can do something. It's probably, he was telling me, if you can't do it, then just go, just get off. Um,
Right.
and it was not, I was not going to have him talk to me any kind of way. So I was just going to shut him up by doing it. And so that's what I did. Not
Right.
everybody is receptive to that style of coaching. Some people need to be encouraged. Some people do need to be pushed like that. Granted, maybe cursing was not the best way to go, but
Right.
obviously we're most people don't coach like that anymore anyway. But some people do need a little bit of tough love. And then some people need that encouragement. It's just, that's, I guess, a skill that you will pick up as you learn your athletes. You will learn what works for them and then what works for them in a certain situation. Because sometimes, in a performance situation, yelling right before they hit the mat, for example, is never, in my opinion, been a successful tactic.
Yeah.
Just never worked.
To me, that is one of the keys of being a successful coach, and one of the hardest things of being a successful coach is figuring out each individual athlete, especially at the high school level. Even if you have that athlete for 4 years, figuring out each individual athlete, how that particular athlete, is this one the kind that needs to, I need to be a little more stern with, or is this the one that I need to encourage, or is this the
Mm-hmm.
one that I need that gentle hand, or, and then if you have that athlete that you only have for 2 years and only have half the time with, it's, to me, that's the most difficult part about it. If
Oh, for sure. And it's
it
situational too, at least for cheerleading. I can
is,
only
yeah,
speak for me. It's situational, depending on what it is that they might need the encouragement on. Because I have some girls that are strong tumblers and they'll have, where they'll have a mental block all of a sudden. And I'm looking at them like, what is wrong with you? Like, this is something you do all the time. What is, so working on what exactly are they afraid of? What exactly is going through their head? And then being able to give them the right coaching at that moment. So
right,
it's definitely a skill that takes time. And you'll only get that when you're with your athletes for a while.
right, right. Now, as a coach, is there a moment that sticks in your head that you'll never forget?
um, well, obviously for us, I mean, for me specifically, winning a national championship in 2016, something that when I started coaching for Pop Warner and seeing the level of um, competition out there, I was like, oh God, like those teams that win a national championship, like how do they do it? How amazing. Um, and all of a sudden we were that amazing team. And they're a really great, strong team, a lot of which those national champions are on the Titan cheer squad right now. Um, but yeah, for sure, that's a pivotal moment in coaching for me. And then the flip side to that is in 2017, we would have been back-to-back national championships. And because of a deduction that, in my opinion, ended up squarely on my shoulders, even though I wasn't the head coach, I was the one that added it to the routine. We lost. We went from first place to sixth place. So they're both sides, the highest of my high and the lowest of my low, for sure.
Right, right. Um, and with something like that, what did you learn from that? I mean, I know that you had to learn something from that.
Um, well, something I learned a long time ago, though, in this particular case, it was true. Um, Athletes win championships and coaches lose championships. So, though it'll be the team that's out there, almost always coaches will get the blame. I think a good coach will look at themselves and see what they could have done better, how they could have succeeded more. But that would be basically what I learned is learn as much from the wins as I do from the losses, or at least I try.
Right, right. Um, let's see. And what is one thing that you hope your athletes get from being on a team that is coached by you?
I would start with memories, especially being a high school cheer coach. High school memories and high school cheer is one of my favorite things to coach, um, because it is all wrapped up in how you remember it. You know, was it a good experience? What do you remember? And I know that I strive, and my coaches, we all strive to really make the everybody's year memorable, but especially seniors. You know, that's their final year, and as far as cheerleading goes, not a lot of cheerleaders will move on to cheer in college. Um, we're working on changing that at university, but as of right now, I have yet to have anybody cheer in college, and I've had a lot of talented girls in my program. So, you know, just making those senior memories the best they can be, because it could be the last time that they ever cheer in their life.
Right, right. And for your athletes and the parents and anyone that might watch this, what do you want to say to them?
Um, well, I would say that really be a part of the process, enjoy those moments with your kids. It goes so fast. Even for us as coaches, right now, the girls that will be seniors next year, which right now we would normally be in tryout, new regime switchover. Those girls were my freshmen when I started. And like that, they're already seniors. It is so crazy. Time goes so fast. Really do your best to be involved in all the moments that are available to you as a parent. And, you know, let your kids fight for what they want. Let your kids, you know, fail to succeed. You know, like I said, I learned as much from my loss in 2017 as I did from my win in 2016. So making sure that, you know, you encourage your kids, but if they don't make it, if they fail, how can they be better? You know, because in real life, everybody doesn't get a trophy. That's not how life works. You know, you will apply for a job and maybe not get the job. They need to be able to work through those emotions, and they learn all of those life skills in high school. So, you know, making sure that you guide your kids, whether they're struggling or not struggling, you know what I mean? Because you're not going to call Chick-fil-A and ask that manager why they didn't hire your kid. That's not how it works. So making sure that you really give them those, also as a parent, giving them those life skills to prepare for what the real world has to offer. And sports, I think, is a real eye-opening type of way to learn, you know, how to work through those emotions.
Definitely, definitely. And here's a question that I didn't put on the questions that I sent to all the coaches. So it's a
Oh,
pop question. If you
hockey.
could have yeah, if you could have dinner with any four people, dead or alive, who would it
Oh,
be
wow.
and why?
Oh, my goodness. Four? That's a lot.
Four.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I would say Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. I'm a huge fan of hers. Um, I would want to have lunch with Jerry Harris from Navarro,
Remember, I
because
met
I know it
him
was just
on
the,
FaceTime.
yes, you did. You were there. We got to talk to him on FaceTime.
Yeah.
I would definitely invite him. Um, geez, good Lord, this is tough. Um, God. So we got two so far. Um, I don't know why I'm going so political, but I would go President Obama, just to see what it was like to be the first African American president, and all those kind of struggles. And hmm, 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 I don't know. Let's go Derek Jeter. Why not?
Go
Let's go
who?
some sports. Derek Jeter. I love
Oh, Derek
baseball.
Jeter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That would definitely be
An
a four
eclectic bench, right?
interesting. Yeah, yeah. Jay would keep everyone entertained for sure.
For sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It would be fun.
yeah, no doubt.
I'm interested to see how people, deal with different things, and they all dealt with adversity. And I don't know that Derek Jeter dealt with a ton of adversity. He did, obviously, being a mixed child, but he was the captain of the Yankees, and they were successful pretty much the entire time he was there. Um, but I know that the other people all struggled with different types of adversity. So I would be interested to see how people deal with that, because sometimes, coaching can be challenging.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little. Um, and did we find out yet how she did? I forget when she finds out.
No, I don't know. I'm assuming, obviously, there was several tryouts that were canceled at the college level. I'm assuming that's what you're asking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So I believe that their responses have been pushed back. I know a lot of them are doing virtual tryouts. So she obviously already got one scholarship, and then she did the tryout at Navarro. She's doing a virtual tryout for UCF. So we're waiting to see where she lands. I'm trying to make her do one more virtual tryout for another team. So because they have the school that I'm thinking about has an all-girl team and a co-ed team. So
Okay.
I'm trying to maximize her what do you call it, her options. But it's exciting going into finally having somebody that's trying out for college cheer, and having someone that, she's already succeeded because she already has a scholarship offer. So we're just waiting to see where she ends up. But I will, by the time it's all said and done, I will have a college cheerleader finally. And that's a big goal of mine, to get as many of my athletes. I have some really, really strong athletes coming up the next couple of years. And if I can get as many of them in a college program with a scholarship, that would be huge. And I also want to get, we're trying to go co-ed this year. And if I can do that, then that'll open up so many huge opportunities for male athletes, because I'm already in talks with UCF. So I think it's great.
Well, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
I don't think so. I would say just everybody stay healthy. It's so tough right now. I know the boredom and the stir crazy is kicking in. Like, I've been with my husband way too many days in a row. I need a break. The kids are getting on my nerves. Kids are getting on each other's nerves.
Right.
Everybody needs a break. I think we all need
Right.
to go run around the house or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something, no doubt. Okay.
But yeah, I would say just, and to the seniors out there, I'm especially, obviously the seniors that had their season cut short. We were blessed that we weren't interrupted. But all seniors are missing out on time with their friends and big moments. So this is just going to make them tougher. There's something special in store for class of 2020, obviously. This is some sort of training for something bigger down the road.
Yeah, no doubt. I know that you saw the Instagram thing the other day, and I thought that her response to this was phenomenal, that this will help the class of 2020 be prepared for whatever it is later on in life. And like you just said, this
100%.
yeah, this has got to be training for something, whatever
Something.
it is down the road to get these kids ready for something. which in a
Yeah, I
way is
mean,
a little bit scary.
yeah, true. But maybe it's just, um, live every moment. There was probably kids that decided, I'm not going to go to homecoming. And they probably should have, because
Right,
that might be the only season dance type situation, that they were going to be a part of in this
right,
year. Because there's, we still have no answers for what we'll be able to accomplish and do. So, it's just everything about it is sad, but they're a resilient bunch, as you can see, um, by her answer the other day on Instagram. There's something bigger and better. I'm going to go with better.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
training for something better.
yeah. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Yeah.
For sure.
So, all right, Coach. Well, I appreciate your time,
All
and
right. It was my pleasure.
all right. Well, thank you, Coach.
All right. All right.